Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from the Floatation Center. I wanted to take a moment to pop in and say hello, and I wanted to create a little video for you about some of the positive changes I've noticed since creating a regular float practice about 14 weeks ago. So you may ask, how come I wasn't floating all the time? You know, we opened up 2 years ago, and how come I didn't have anything regular created? And the reason why is that I just didn't schedule it in. I would maybe float twice a week, and then 4 weeks would go by, and suddenly I realized that I wasn't making that time for myself. So, the beginning of May, I made that commitment to myself and to this space and to my practice to show up. So, the reasons why I float are many. Initially, it was just for the meditative aspect. I really wanted to kind of enhance my meditation practice. But from there, it's now kind of expanded to things like being able to feel my body and really get a sense for my physical awareness, to listen to myself, to get cozy with my intuition, to gain clarity, to help with anxiety, because I do experience anxiety from time to time. I find it's great to think, to not think, and to really get comfortable with experiencing discomfort without distraction, because sometimes when something just doesn't feel right, we'll pick up our phone and we'll use that as a distraction, as opposed to kind of sitting with it and making sense deep down of why this is, like, why do we feel this way. So I went back through my planner and just to kind of recapitulate the last 14 weeks and to see if there were any changes or notable improvements in terms of, who I am and who I'm becoming. And what I've noticed is, there's been some really great improvements. So the first thing for me, and this is the one that really means the most, is that I'm actually showing up. Every single week, I show up for my float, even if I don't really want to be there, and I'm using this kind of dedication or discipline throughout other parts of my life. So those who may, follow us on Instagram or even my personal Instagram page, you'll likely notice that I do speak a lot about the importance of discipline and having a practice, and I'm definitely, right down that drinking the Krishna Das or Ram Das tea about creating a practice, because it's going to be important when you really need one and you don't have one. So that's number one. Number two is zero anxiety attacks. So I would say from between March to November, I was not in a good space. I was incredibly stressed out with the flotation center, and I was sick and I couldn't get better. And I was experiencing anxiety and panic attacks just on the regular, or just living this low level fog of anxiety, and it wasn't doing any good for me. And my nervous system was likely shot, my adrenals were likely shot, and I'm sure that I was carrying around a nice midsection full of cortisol as well. So that's amazing. Another thing that I've done is I actually am going to yoga now. So those who really know me know that I'm terrified of yoga, but I signed up for an intro to yoga course through Pramana, which is on Gottingen Street. I went to that, and now I can consider myself a yogi, in the sense that I sweat a lot and I shake and I breathe a lot, but I think it's on the right path towards something. I find that I've been less reactive in my day-to-day, so when I'm ready, and I do have a knee-jerk reaction, and when I can feel that welling up inside of me, the first thing that happens is that I come back to my breath, something that I always focus on while I'm floating. I'm getting better with being okay with the constant to-do list that you have as an entrepreneur, something that's honestly taken me 2 years to just acknowledge. I find that I've been more organized, more accountable, and I've been setting like a really good schedule for myself, including a morning schedule that involves like meditation, journaling, even getting up and drinking a glass of water first thing. So that's actually a big improvement in my life. Another thing is that I've been feeling incredibly connected to all of this. And when you're in that flow and that everything is just bam, 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 happening so well and so quickly and perfectly, that's what it's been like. And a lot of things that I think that are important to me, at least in my life, and they may not be, you know, shiny or expensive, but even just having some sacred Lindsay time, or realizing that, oh, you know what, I'm kind of living in my dream apartment and feeling thankful and grateful for that. All of these things are happening, you know, I notice it in, you know, going back through my passion planner. Finally, I find that I'm just being a better friend, a better employer or boss, leader, but also a better partner and human being for those around me. So those are just some of the few things that I've noticed and really wanted to share with you all. And if you have any comments in terms of like what floating has done for you, I would love to hear them. Every experience is different and unique, and it's all about, you know, the chopping of wood and carrying of water and creating that practice. So feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. I love to hear from everyone, and thanks for listening for the past 6 and a bit minutes. And we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.